Hello and welcome to Some of My Friends Read Comics. We've got Vince.
The first time I tried it, I burned my butt fur off.
We've got Chris.
Death to the monitor.
And I'm Kia. Hello, welcome to the show. Today, it's Eisner season again. Oh, the award show that everyone is talking about. Do they have a show for the Eisners? They really should. It should be a big deal. Hosted by Billy Crystal. It would be a lot of fun.
Do you remember the Billy Crystal on SNL, that one where they did the Gutenbergs?
Yeah,
I think we may have made this joke last time. I just remember him.
Did.
He because he did a song. I remember him doing one about James Michener's Mexico. His name is Michener. His name is Michener. Wrote a book about Mexico. Stupid.
It's so great. Award shows for books. That's a thing that's got to happen. But the Eisners just happened, and we figured we've taken a look at some Eisner winners in the past. This year, we're taking a look at Hellboy. It won for Best Single Issue this year for a one-shot called Krampusnacht, Night of the Krampus. I think we agreed that's what it translates to. Yeah. I don't speak German. I don't know. So we weren't just going to be talking about one issue. We figured we'd take a look also at Hellboy and Beasts of Burden teaming up for a little one-shot called Sacrifice. This was from 2010, 2011. We talked about Beasts of Burden was it last year, 2 years ago, when they won, some of the Eisners. They've always been winning Eisners. Good stuff. Everybody loves talking animals, right? And
sad stories about dead dogs.
Oh, exactly. And this one
gets everybody. It's super emotional.
This one's a little bit sad. We're gonna, I think, jump into the Beasts of Burden one first. Also, just a reminder that at the end of the show, we're going to continue our look at Crisis on Infinite Earths. We're on issue number 8. Stuff's picking up. Things are getting exciting.
Getting close to the home stretch here.
Yeah.
Two-thirds of the way there.
So make sure you join us. We will tell you more about the fractions.
Don't turn off the podcast.
Who knows? Some people might not be into the Crisis. I can't imagine why. It's proven itself old.
Yeah, or they might listen to the first, 25 minutes of this podcast and be like, I've heard enough.
Yeah, you know what? Do what you like, folks. If you want to turn this thing off right now, I'll be hurt. My feelings will be very badly hurt, but it'll be okay.
We still got your download. Keep subscribing.
Yeah, keep like and subscribe. Don't actually listen. Thanks. Okay, so we ready to jump into Beasts of Burden and Hellboy? Sacrifice? Yep. I just remember the title. Did anybody actually sacrifice themselves in this shit? All right, we'll see. So Hellboy's wandering some farmland, and he's talking to a vampire. Oh, it's a dumbass vampire, right? He calls him a dumbass because this guy goes out into the sunlight, gets burned. He's finishing up an adventure, as Hellboy is prone to do, and he sees a dog. Oh, what is this now? A dog leads him out into the woods, and he meets the Beasts of Burden. Oh, great.
The dog, tugs on him, and then, the farmer's like, I wouldn't go in there if I was you. And Beast Boy, and Hellboy, Beast Boy, I've been watching too much Teen Titans. Hellboy is like, oh, yeah? Tell me more. And I'm like, I like that these Hellboy stories just kind of, start with him being like, I heard a thing about a thing, maybe I'll go check it out, and then have an adventure. I do like that. It's a very...
Yeah. He's just, ready to have an adventure. Yeah. He meets the beasts, and I really like all the characterization of all the different animals on top of Hellboy's sort of response to it all. It's like, all right, you guys are a bunch of talking dogs, and you're protecting the city or this area. All right, think I'm on board. I get it.
I love the panel where he's like, so y'all are the wise dogs, and the cats too, and they're like, yep. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yep, just accepts it at face value.
Yeah, I really like because they explain the entire concept of Beasts of Burden, because I'm assuming most people would be coming here for the Hellboy rather than Beasts of Burden, although this is really the Beasts of Burden team with a little bit of Hellboy sprinkled in. But, they recap their whole team, their whole thing, but then Hellboy's so chill, he's like, I've seen so much weird shit, I got it, it's cool. But it's it's very economical. It's it explains the whole thing for newbies or people who haven't read Beasts of Burden in a year and a half and don't remember all the dogs. Like me, and then we get going, and I like it.
Mm-hmm. We also Hellboy understands them perfectly, and they just never bring that up. It's just okay, sure, Hellboy gets it. That's all. And yeah, like I was saying, the characterization in all these animals, I guess the pug is probably the one that has the most unique characterization in this issue, at least. He's a little bit of a grumpy puss. No, that doesn't work. He's not a cat. But he's a little bit of a grump. And we see a lot of that come out when he's just sort of picking on everybody. He's a little bit not happy with Hellboy, who's coming in to join the team. He's like, who's this guy? It looks like a damn devil. And now we're going to like let him just hang out with us? Nah, this isn't cool. But throughout this whole adventure, they fight some, what were those, skull golems? They're like skulls that have come back to life with the mud in them. They're like shooting mud throughout their eyes. I thought that was a pretty cool visual. A lot of good visuals throughout all this. We should probably mention the creative team. Isn't that important? Evan Dorkin did most of the writing, I believe. Jill Thompson doing the art, like she usually does with Beasts of Burden. And you got Mike Mignola, who I guess also wrote the story.
He didn't really contribute that much. He just it was mostly Dorkin writing, and then Mignola came in and be like, "Yep, that sounds like Hellboy."
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, yeah,
which is fine. Jill Thompson did art on a recent Wonder Woman, like OGN last year when the movie came out. She does like a lot of like painted art. She did a really good job on this one too. I have a little bit of the problem with the art compared to previous Beasts of Burden, just because Hellboy is so much of a different size than the dogs.
Yeah,
that like they have to have like wider shots to be able to keep all of them in panel. Which is, I feel like the original Beast of Burden was a lot like tighter and at the dog's level. And you didn't see the people as much, so it just feels a little off to me in that regard.
But I get that.
But I do like how Hellboy looks in this book. It's all bright. He's very bright for what I consider Hellboy. Like it's really cool.
Well, we haven't actually talked about what this adventure is. The beasts are worried because there's a whole bunch of animals that have gone missing. Like they've been, I guess, murdered in the middle of the night, what have you. And so they're trying to investigate, figure out what is causing all this. In this confrontation with all these big skull golems, one of their own gets captured as well. What's its name? Whitey?
They got Whitey.
Yeah. They got Whitey. And it's been captured by this lady who's got like crazy, like almost like root hair, like veins almost. Like they're going into a tree. I don't really know exactly what the deal is with her hair, but it looks cool. It's a nice little visual. She's got a knife up to the dog's throat. Oh no, Whitey, what's gonna happen?
I do like that. That panel is amazing, though. That's my panel.
Yeah.
That's my panel of the whole thing, because she's got the knife up to the dog's throat, and you can see the reflection of Hellboy and another dog in the reflection of the knife. And it's just a really, really cool panel. That's my panel of the week.
I think I missed that, seeing the reflection of Hellboy in the knife. I'm looking for that.
It's the one. It's kind of tight on the girl's face, and she's got the knife up to the dog's throat. She says, "Goodbye, little puppy," and you can see Hellboy. It's on the bottom right panel of the page.
Oh, that one right there. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. That's after her little flashback where so I guess I don't remember if we actually read any of the Beasts of Burden issues where this guy comes up,
we did.
It's okay. So it's like one of their recurring villains where they've mentioned like we've beaten him a few times now.
If I recall correctly, it was the first like real human character, and it was like 3 or 4 stories in, if I recall correctly.
Okay, this is making more sense. Yeah. I think I remember.
It was really good. It's not really necessary to know.
It's really not, no. But I do like the way that this character who's causing all the trouble now is that guy's old girlfriend. Like I guess they were kind of like punky, kind of like hitting the streets and stuff together. Mm-hmm. And she is just now coming to and like trying to bring him back to life. And they kind of acknowledge like, oh, I wish I could have been here for your first 2 attempts back to life, so I could have like resuscitated you the first time, but I got to do it now. It's all right. So they have their little fights and everything. They have to run out of there.
She slits her own.
That's the sacrifice. Oh, she slits her own throat. Yep. Slits her own throat in order to give blood to this thing. But she's got like a spell book. The pug, that good old pug, manages to grab that spell book. What is that pug's name, by the way?
Pugsley.
Great. Of course. So they manage to all get out. Everything is happy and successful. They're all having a party. And of course, Beast Boy's like, "No, all right, I gotta go for a minute." Damn it, you got me doing it now. We shouldn't have read Hellboy Beasts of Burden because it is just Beast Boy, an asshole. And it's like, whoa, Pugs actually did something good. Whoa, good for him. Like, he got the book. He peed on the guy. Great.
Yeah, I did think that was nice because in the regular series, Beasts of Burden, like a lot of the other characters have had a big moment, like Orphan, and obviously like the big dogs have gotten to like it had time to shine, and Pugs really does nothing most of the time except bitch.
Yep. I like Pugs. I like that Pugs. So Beast Boy, God damn it again. Hellboy says, "All right, I gotta go off. I gotta follow this other dog and see what he's doing." That dog who like notified him of what was going on at the beginning. And we find out that I guess that dog was like a ghost who was leading him to where he needs to go. Is that what like that's what I got from the end of it. Like that dog had passed away and was just sort of like sending him to where he needed to be, right?
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's a sacrifice maybe because that old dog is like he has a heart attack and is like, well, in my last act as a ghost, I'll lead Hellboy where he needs to go.
Yeah. Hellboy at the end is a bit of an asshole, though, because he tells the dogs, like, yeah, all right, I'll be right back. Does not come back. Realizes he accidentally took the book with him. And he says, I bet they could have used this, too. Oh, well. And he just says, I'm not going back there. Like, why not, man? You said you would be back. You still have something they can use. Nope. I guess never again.
Yeah, I like he goes to follow the gray dog, and he's like, "You guys stay here." And Pugs just kind of has a sad look on his face. It's a very good 2-panel shot of him like wanting to follow and then sitting, and I'm like, "Aw, he's a dog."
Yeah, that dog. And that's pretty much the end of that. A fun little story, nice and quick. Nothing particularly like amazing or groundbreaking, but it was fun to read. I enjoyed it. It does make me want to read more Beasts of Burden again, rather than more Hellboy. I don't know about you guys. Did you lean in one direction or the other?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super familiar with Hellboy. I haven't seen the movies. I saw one of the animated movies, and I've read a few one-shots here and there, but I did like Beasts of Burden. I think this was not as good as the Beasts of Burden that we read before. But it reminded me, like, I need to go. I think there's a few stories of Beast of Burden that we haven't read yet. I don't know if they're even collected, but I'd like to read it.
There's supposed to be more coming.
Yeah, I think Jill Thompson wasn't doing the art for him, I think is what I remember reading. But Dorkin's on it, so
we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll do some more of those. But yeah, I'm not super familiar with Hellboy either, but I don't think you really need to be for a lot of his stuff. It's just sort of that guy who's going to go around having the adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I will say the Hellboy movies you should check out, Vince, because I don't care too much for the Hellboy character. Like, I think it's mostly like Ghost Rider, like it's 90% like, well, this is a design I feel is cool, where there's not a lot there. Yeah. But then Ron Perlman's performance, especially in that first movie, you're like, wow, like there you actually just get a character filled out from the margins of he's just got like a super tough guy who fights everything. You're like, wow, he actually does have a character here in this movie, like just by being a 3-dimensional guy. Mm-hmm. Really, I mean, like it's just you hear Ron Perlman's voice in your head when Hellboy talks. I think it really informed the comics that Mike Mignola has done since. Where you can definitely like, I mean, I think he probably hears Ron Perlman in his head when he's writing him now.
Yeah, I bet that's definitely true. I remember watching the first one forever ago, but it was like on in the background while I was doing something else, and I was like, oh, that was cool. I'd like to pay more attention to that, and I just never did. How many movies did they make? Was it just 2 or 3?
I think it's just the 2, and then they made like 4 animated movies.
I watched the first animated movie whenever that came out. There definitely were the 2, and I think they're making a new one with the cop from Stranger Things is playing Hellboy.
I bet he'd be good at that. Sure.
The one that's in the dictionary for dad bod. Like they have, they literally put a picture of him in for dad bod. I don't remember his name now, but I'm like, yeah, that guy seems right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hooper, is
I
that
do
his
too.
name? Man, it's been a while since I've seen Stranger Things.
Yeah, I think that's right. He seems like a good guy. Tough, doesn't really give too much of a shit, except when he does give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it takes. That sounds exactly like Hellboy. So let's move on to the Hellboy Krampusnacht issue. This won the Eisner, as we said, for best issue this year. Boy, what is this about? Hellboy confronts the Krampus and kills him. Well, good stuff.
Well,
did I
you
cover
just-
everything?
Yep, you did. Done. All right, and now on to Crisis 8.
So I was intrigued. I read the Beasts of Burden one first, and I really enjoyed that one, and so I was sort of curious to see what this one would bring. And so from the very beginning, my interest is piqued. It's like, okay, he's there, he's talking to this old man in this house, and this old man is expecting Hellboy. He says, "Hey, sit down for dinner." I'm like, okay, all right, what's this all about? And this old man committed some giant massacre in order to get Hellboy's attention, so we knew he'd be there. And turns out this old man is the Krampus. Whoa!
Did he even commit a massacre, or did he just sort of shake things up at a church?
Yeah, I think maybe that's it. He just threw some stuff around at a church, and so the church called Hellboy and said, "Go take care of this old man for us." And I guess
because
Go ahead.
this issue takes place in 1975, right?
Yes, it does.
It's a past story. The BPRD, I guess, the priests, this is when they're doing a lot of their exercising and stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, we got to hook up." This is the same time as the movie The Conjuring and stuff. So yeah, the churches they call in external experts all the time.
They've seen it. They know what's going to happen.
This checks out for me.
Okay. So the Krampus is just listen, man, I am one evil son of a bitch. I have killed so many people.
So many kids.
So many kids, yeah. He hands Hellboy a skull, and Hellboy sort of sees that kid's last moments as Krampus kills him. And we get this sort of little bit of a reveal of Krampus saying, "I want you to kill me. I am being punished by being stuck here on Earth where it's cold, and I just want to make fire and destruction, and I want to be dead right now because I am the one being tortured." And so Hellboy kills him.
And it's a cool shot. I like the design of him as an old man, and then he's like, "Actually, I have a goat head." And the reveal of that, I think, is a really cool panel.
It is. That panel is great. The goat head. The art in this issue, we should mention, was Adam Hughes, who I really enjoy his work, and I think it lends itself really well to that dark Hellboy sort of aesthetic. But that's kind of it. That's the whole issue. Afterwards, after Hellboy kills the Krampus, he puts up a little grave for him. Just to be okay, yeah, I guess we're gonna give him a grave.
And it kind of turns into a joke because the Krampus, he's like, "Oh, thank you for killing me," and then he's like, "Wait, no, what happened?" And he turns into a goat.
Yep.
Yeah. I found myself by the end of this just kind of not caring. It just ended, and I was like, "That's it."
Yeah. And then there's a parlor scene where a character from Hellboy, whose name I forget, is like, "Well, I always suspected that Krampus was related to the Yule goat that, delivered presents, during the Yule holiday. But I didn't realize it was an actual goat." And I was like, ha, ha, ha. It's just I don't know. It didn't really work for me. I thought there'd be a twist or something with these ghosts. But no.
Well, the thing that's also messed up is it's a 36-page book, but really it's a 24-page story.
Yeah,
with
everything
12
else
pages of extra on it. So you're like,
yeah,
we're 2/3 of the way through. There's going to be a twist. There's something else is going to happen. No, it's over.
No,
now we're going to have some sketchbook
Yep.
stuff and then call it a day. And I'm like, wait, no.
No, nothing.
I mean, the art is cool in it, and the sketchbook stuff has some interesting things in it where it's Mike Mignola had an idea for Adam Hughes to make the Krampus his face to get more and more skull-like as the fight went on, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I didn't notice that. Y'all didn't have to do that. It's a cool idea, but it's not either called attention to enough, or it's a very thin story.
Yeah, in a 20-page story, like there's literally like one panel where he's in the like skull state before he's dead.
Yeah.
So like I didn't really notice that on the first read.
So my question for y'all: what the fuck are the Eisners? Like, why did this thing win an Eisner? I just having a hard time understanding.
Is it a lack of nominations?
I really don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
There's so much indie stuff out there that does whatever this is trying to do.
I feel like this is a direct assault against the creators of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. That's like, hey guys, make some new comics, you jerks.
Yeah,
you want to win some Eisners? Make a comic.
That's pretty much all
they should just. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina should just submit their one issue they made for their best single issue.
Yeah, right.
Because I mean, I understand like a lot of like modern comics, they don't do a lot of done in one stories. So, and I think if it's like any other award show, you have to kind of like submit your own stuff to it. So I don't know if there's that much competition for the best single issue thing, because there's also a best short story category, which is what I think we tried to read last year or 2 years ago, but they were really hard to track down.
They were hard to track down. That's where all the indie stuff really is. And short
because it was like publishers we'd never heard of, like with single issues that like weren't on any digital services. Like those were a pain in the ass to try to find. So we ended up not doing that idea. And I know like for the Eisner Awards, I think Monstrous and something else won best series, and then best writer is just straight up whoever wrote a bunch of crazy books. So I think Tom King and Marjorie Liu tied for best writer this year. Because Tom King writes Batman and some other stuff.
He did that Great Vision.
I know you really like that Vision book. We need to check that out. So,
I think he might have won for some indie thing that he did as well a year or two ago. But he's a good writer from what I've seen of him. I kind of just didn't care about his Batman. I tried to read it, and
I read the first 6 issues and I was like, this is fine. It's the best David Finch art I've ever seen, to that credit, but I also didn't care.
So maybe next year we'll keep on reading some more Eisner stuff and try to figure out what they like. But boy, I really just we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll look at some nominations.
I really liked that. Was it the single issue Silver Surfer issue last year? I liked that one a lot.
Yeah, that was great. We read some old Astro City. Those were some great one and dones way back when.
I think we read a Tom Strong that had won as well. That was good.
That's a good one.
But all these this Hellboy stuff, I feel like we're ready to kind of talk about what we're doing next time. The Goon has me really excited for that. Hellboy kind of reminds me of the Goon, so we're going to talk about him next time. Also an Eisner Award winner. Stick around at the end of the show. We'll tell you exactly which issues we're reading there. But I think we're ready to jump on to Crisis. You guys ready for Crisis?
Yep.
Any final words to say about Hellboy? Maybe one day we'll come back and we'll read some like Hellboy proper that goes into his story, because I feel like we didn't do him justice. I do think the character is a neat little thing. Maybe some Lobster Johnson stuff. Gotta love a big old lobster.
My one recommendation, if the Beast of Burden and Hellboy ever meet up again, is I want to see him petting some dogs with his giant weird hand.
He didn't do that, did he? The pugs rode around in his trench coat for a little bit,
and the cat rode on his shelf on his shoulder.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's neat. But I want to see him really put that giant hand to work petting dogs.
All right, you got it. I'll make sure that happens. If they don't do it, I will. You know what,
Chris? Do you just want a sketchbook?
I might as well write a Hellboy comic so I can win an Eisner. I might as well.
I'm just gonna write Jill Thompson and be like, "Can I just get a black and white photo or a black and white picture of Hellboy petting some dogs?" I guess the Beast of Burden dog specifically.
I just want.
I'll pick Ace.
I recall at my old publisher, we Gold Digger. Every year we'd have a one issue where we would just publish a bunch of fan art of like pinups and stuff. I know. Oh no. But I would totally be down for a bunch of fan art of Hellboy petting puppies.
It'd be a good calendar, I think.
Did you guys read the letter page for the Hellboy for the Beast of Burden Sacrifice?
No, I should have, because I was very curious as to how a one-shot team-up like that would do a letters page.
Well, it was all letters from their second issue, because they publish so infrequently, I guess.
Yeah, the first and second issue, basically.
Jeez.
And it was called Speak, Good Boy. And it's just a bunch of people sending in pictures of their cats and dogs to the letter page.
Oh my gosh. Interesting.
It's great. I'm like, yes, perfect.
That's what we need more of.
That's what I want my letters page to be. Is just pictures of people's pets.
Very nice. I think what book was it? Hellcat. When they did Hellcat recently, their letters page had a lot of pictures of cats in it.
Oh, sweet!
Nice.
So make sure you check that out.
I have that. I have Patsy Walker Hellcat. I need to read that.
Yeah. Patsy. Boy, can we talk about Patsy? Best part of Jessica Jones season 2, eh?
Oh, we still need to watch that. I need to watch.
It's you don't need to watch it. But
I heard
Patsy
was Luke Cage season 2 any good?
I love Luke Cage season 2. Oh my! It was. It really surprised me with how good of a show it was. It is not Luke Cage's show at all. Luke Cage is maybe the 5th or 6th most important character on that show. It is. It's Misty and who's that villain lady? What's her name? And her. It's the two of them. Really, it's that villain's arc more than anything. I don't remember names. None of that matters.
Things that don't matter. Crisis number 8.
How dare you?
All right, we're getting into. All right, so for those of you who maybe haven't listened to one of these episodes all the way through for Crisis 8, you should probably go back and listen to Crisis 7 so you know what's going on.
Yeah, because
actually, no, I take that back. I feel like everything in Crisis 8 is brand new and has nothing to do with Crisis 7. We have Psycho Pirate.
Wait, there was no Lila in this book.
Lila's not in this.
Nope.
So many people are not.
Neither is what's his name now? I already forgot his name. This guy's
Superman.
That dude. Dude starts with a P. That always has
Pariah.
Pariah. Yeah,
he's not. Look, here's the people who are in this issue. You got Psycho Pirate, Flash, a bunch of people who care about Red Tornado for some reason. I don't know why we care about Red Tornado so much now. Out of nowhere.
Let's start at the beginning. So Psycho Pirate is worried that he's going to be killed for fucking up every issue before this.
I think this is the best part of the issue of the series for me so far. A Psycho Pirate really just being like, "Geez, I have so much control over emotion, but what irony that I'm so scared right now. What am I gonna do?" And then Anti-Monitor comes in. He says, "I've got a new suit because Supergirl hurt my old one, and now I have a new character design, and we can sell a different toy." And
it's time for Edited Crisis.
Yeah. Darkseid is there, hanging out.
No, Darkseid's there. He's like, "Well, either the good guys will beat up the bad guys, but the good guys will be weak, and then I'll kill the good guys, or the bad guys will win, but they'll be weak, and then I'll kill the bad guys. Either way, I'm gonna win." And I'm like, Darkseid, if he destroys the whole universe, you're not gonna be able to win because there's gonna be nothing left to win. Darkseid. Darkseid's like, "I've thought through everything. I am smart, but only as smart as my writer makes me."
We go to the planet Oa, the people who made the Green Lanterns. They were pretty important in the last issue as flashbacks. And this issue, they're just arguing about votes? I don't know.
It's a lot of episode 1 prequel stuff where it's like, you need to get a supermajority. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
I call for a vote of no confidence in Chancellor Valorum.
In the Green Lantern Corps.
They were so important in that last issue, and nothing here. I'm just like, they're like, yeah, the worlds are colliding. It's going to be dangerous. Hey, about that vote that we had. Everyone else is, you got Brainiac 5. He's mad about Supergirl's death. He's trying to come up with a solution.
And also the 5 planets that are still there, like overlapping with each other and causing a lot of problems. Like, he's so distraught about Kara's death. And he's like, no, I'm trying to fucking keep the universes from falling apart. Oh, he's just distraught. Yeah,
Yeah, we need to do something to help him.
I'm like,
I mean, he probably is.
But he's also like the only one focused on like, we still have a problem. We did not solve. The arc is not over, even though it felt like a giant like beginning, middle, and end falling action in issue 7. Like it could have been the end of the event. It wasn't. There's still 5 issues to go, and Brainiac realizes that, and no one else does.
Yeah, we have two fire characters talking to each other. There's Firehawk
and Firestorm, and then they end up deciding to go to the Justice League satellite, which has been abandoned based on some other previous event. And they run into Martian Manhunter, and Martian Manhunter's like
Justice League Detroit.
Yeah, yeah, I like this where Martian Manhunter says, "You guys got to stand over there. Like, I can't deal with the fire."
Well, but the thing is like they come in with such like pithy jokes already. I'm surprised that they didn't let Martian Manhunter go like, "Oh, because he's like, do you want us to stay away because you're scared of fire?" I was like, "No, because we're on a space station that's got like super concentrated oxygen, and being lit on fire with your hair fire is a stupid idea." Nobody seems to question that though in this satellite.
No, that's not important.
I like how the satellite has become dilapidated. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it should just be the same. Like, there's no entropy in space. It's not like you're gonna get dust.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. We also, I'm sure people have known this before. I'd heard the name of Red Tornado's creator, Dr. Morrow. I had no idea that his name was T.O. Morrow. Whoa, boy. My God.
That's the Silver Age for you.
Oh, almost as bad as Oa and Quird.
Oa Quird. Hello, Quird. The fire lady gets her clothes burned off at some point.
Well, no, there's a weird pause because the Blue Devil's not there with them, so they have to have like a 4-panel aside where they go get Blue Devil just to continue their previous scene. Which I'm like, why?
And also, who's Blue Devil?
Yeah, I don't know why any of these characters are important or why what they are doing is important.
But Blue Devil's there. Cyborg is there from the Teen Titans. I saw Teen Titans Go. It was spectacular.
From the Justice League, you mean?
He was not good in the Justice League movie. He was good in the Teen Titans movie. I prefer that Cyborg.
Wait, there was a Teen Titans movie?
Teen Titans Go to the movies. Yeah, it just came out.
Like a week ago.
Yeah.
Oh, was it animated?
Yeah. It's based on the new TV show, not the 04 TV show.
Yeah, I think the Go TV show is one that I never really got into, but I remember liking the old TV show.
Oh, Go is like perfect for me. It's like catnip.
Really? Isn't it like it's got more of like a Powerpuff Girls-y, like a quick one and done.
It's Powerpuff Girls, and there's no continuity in it. Like sometimes they'll just die, or Cyborg will go crazy and turn them all into lamps, and then the episode just ends.
Oh, great! That sounds like Aqua Teens.
Yeah,
I'm into that.
But anyways, they do some stuff where they go inside of Red Tornado. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
The only thing that seems to matter is this big cannon that Anti-Monitor has, which I think is the first time we've seen his giant cannon, and I don't know what it does.
Oh, I do want to take a step back though, because you did mention Firehawk gets caught on fire, and she's like, "Boys, I'm naked. It's gonna be a problem." And then the next panel, she's like, "JK, I have a whole new costume." And then like, now is not a time for a fashion show. And then they just move on. I'm like, why did you why did you have this naked scene? Oh, because you wanted to give her a new costume for some plot reason. Okay, maybe. No. It's like, we just want to say, like, your new costume's stupid. Let's keep going. And then they never mention it again. So I don't understand what those 3 panels were for at all. Like, they serve no purpose.
There's so much in this book that's like that.
This book is a big advertisement for read the Blue Devil and Firestorm comics, and it's like, no, I refuse to do that.
Well, I mean, I feel like I would maybe read those to figure out what's going on if they had more context in this as to why they are, like, why do I need to read them?
Right,
or is this just going to be like...
It's also very clearly spinning off into, like, the next issue of Firestorm, and they have a little blurb that's like, find out in the next issue of Blue Devil, because he gets zapped into like a space battle, and he's like, how do I get myself into this one? And I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I don't like you.
I did like him on the beach. He's just chilling, and he looks like Hellboy. He's blue. And he's just sitting on the beach in swim trunks, and they're like, you need to come on this adventure. But I guess that's a good point, Chris, because like I was like, well, what's this payoff? Like he's like, I'm in space something, and I'm like, cool. And then he just never shows up again for the rest of the issue because then it's Flash time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just prejudiced against him because, as
he's blue. Oh my!
Because he's blue or because he's a devil?
No, because he's a dookie.
Whoa! All right, this is not that kind of show, everybody. I'm very sorry for Chris's language. If you're just tuning in for the first time, we do not accept this behavior.
He is the Duke University mascot. I see he was brought to life by magic.
I see, not like Green Day's 1994 album. I got it.
I gotcha.
That's what you call them if you're from North Carolina and hate Duke.
So if you're a Tar Heel, you hate the Dukies.
A Tar Heel?
Yeah.
How do you insult a Tar Heel? I feel like that's already enough of an insult.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Boy. All right.
I think you just post the crying Jordan meme over and over until they go away.
Oh man. So let's get back to this issue and what's going on. Are we onto this canon thing yet?
Yeah, yes. I think so.
What is this canon? It's big, it's evil, it's mean, it's gonna kill stuff.
Antimatter canon.
Sure.
Full of antimatter.
I didn't
concentrated matter that's gonna do something.
Like, isn't everything already collapsing? I don't know. Flash breaks out of his prison, and at this point, like, nobody really knows if Flash is alive, right? Like, Batman's maybe seen him in a vision.
I think that was, but I think we're supposed to realize that was like the Flash of like the future of, now. I think because he was.
Well, I didn't know that until literally this issue.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that either.
I thought I remember reading that it was like Flash of like the future or a different timeline because or maybe I just know that Flash jumps through.
So here's what happened. Flash says, "I'm gonna get rid of this cannon." Runs around doing some zoom lightning stuff. And in the middle of all this, he's like melting. There's like his skull's going crazy. And he sees visions of what Batman saw at the very beginning when he saw the Flash. Which is like pretty neat. It's a neat idea, a neat concept that it's wrapping back around. If any of this had mattered at all in context of the whole big thing and been he's so separate from everything else in this book. And he, I guess, saved the day by destroying this big cannon, and he sacrificed himself, right? Because Flash is, like, dead now.
Mm-hmm.
And it is probably one of the more important things that has happened in 8 issues, other than everything from the last issue. I would say that is probably like, oh, okay, that's pretty important. And yet, at the same time, doesn't feel important at all, because we never even knew that this cannon was a problem until it was just now introduced and then almost immediately destroyed. You know, like there was no build-up at all for this thing.
Yeah. Well, that'll happen when you only introduce the villain in issue 5?
Yeah. So the end of this issue is the Spectre, who is there. Why? I guess because the Flash is dead and the Spectre is like the Spectre of Death, right?
Yep.
Huh? Well,
Spirit of Vengeance?
He's like doing stuff. The Anti-Monitor is like reaching out and touching Spectre somehow. I don't know. So I'm looking forward to like 4 more issues of I don't know until we get a massive overload of everything happening all at once at the very end, which I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I don't know, Kia. This may do like a lot of the whole final issue. Maybe just be falling action. Like it could do nothing. Like I thought that like Supergirl's death was going to be a big deal, and it was a good moment in that issue, and it felt like earned. And even then, I kind of liked this Flash moment. It was like at least it focused like I'm just going to show Flash be cool for 8 pages. I'm actually going to have like some type of rise and like something actually happening as opposed to like, oh, here's a problem. Okay, we resolved it. Never mention it again. I do not have any character emotion whatsoever. I am the Blue Devil. I am the Cyborg. I am Firestar. I'm Firehawk. Oh, I've got a new dress, but nothing matters. Like there's so much like just like boring like characterization and plotting throughout this entire book that like I felt like the Flash one was at least like interesting, and it was like the art was cool and it was given a little room to breathe. And it wasn't just like inundated with like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Why does this matter? That it worked, but then you take a step back and you're like, we've never heard of this cannon before. Literally the page was like, no, here's the big cannon. All right, it's destroyed now. Like that's how all the plotting is like, here's a problem, now it's solved. Here's a problem, now it's solved. Like there's not, it's, I mean, and the way this book is going though, going back, I'm sorry, is I keep thinking there's supposed to be these big moments that I've like read about, and known about for all of my comics reading of like, these are the big things that happen in Crisis on Infinite Earths, and none of them feel very earned, and there doesn't feel like there's a big payoff to any of them. They just happen, and they're like, okay, now it's time. It's done. Flash is dead now. Supergirl's dead. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And it's like, I mean, honestly, I know we're not the biggest DC fans, but like, I feel like most people weren't like huge Firestorm fans. I know he was sort of, when his book got canceled, he got sucked into the Justice League. But it's like having your an issue of the Secret War be about Nova, where you're just like, oh wow, Nova, he's everyone's favorite. You know, it's like, not really.
Yeah, I mean, they gave Firestorm so many chances. I feel like his book was one of the first New 52 books to get canceled, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, Static Shock, I think, was the first.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'm
sure Firestorm was one of them too, because it's just like, who could care? I mean, I have no nostalgia for that guy.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can just come in with like a new take on Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, and be like, yep, nails it now. Although Tom King wrote that Vision that we said was really good, so who the fuck knows? But people like Vision, so.
Yeah, Vision's already good. And also, that's the other thing that this book did, is it was a subplot, but when the atom shrinks down and goes inside Red Tornado, it's like, y'all aren't even trying. Like, this is literally, you know, the Avengers had a big event that we've reviewed on the show where Ant-Man shrinks down and goes inside Vision, and that was in, like, 1967 or whatever it was.
Well, I feel like people shrinking down and going inside things has been...
right, but
Fantastic Voyage.
Inside
but
an artificial man,
like
I feel like that's I feel like
Yeah.
it's very specific when you're like, I'm going to send down a little man inside a robot man. It's like, okay, that's
But I
getting
also,
more
like,
specific.
I don't know why any of that was important. Like, 5 planets are about to collapse on top of each other, and we're sending a little man inside of a robot man. And they didn't tell me why this is going to help with the 5 planets.
Yeah, I don't know. And what's the new Wildcat up to? That's what I want to know.
So much stuff from like nobody is in. You could, God, has
That
Wonder
was your
Woman
thing.
done anything? Isn't she
No.
important? I don't know.
No, I'm okay with Wonder Woman not being in an event like Wolverine was not in Civil War. But yeah, that Wildcat, that was your big payoff splash page to end the fucking issue 2 or 3 issues ago.
And yeah, where is she? Oh, all right. I'm getting too grumpy. I'm turning into pugs here. I think we need to just sort of stop for now and move on to next time. Let's talk about what we're doing with the Goon next time. I'm excited. I'm a big Goon fan. Have you guys read any of the Goon at all?
You had a Goon lunchbox when we lived together, Kia.
I still have it. It's
Nice.
It's on display on one of my bookshelves here. I love that thing, man. The Goon, I don't know what made me gravitate towards this character at all. I think it's kind of that same Hellboy kind of mentality. Also just like indie comics, getting tired of superheroes for a little while, wanting to do some other stuff. But the Goon is by Eric Powell, written and drawn. He published the first 3 issues with Avatar Press. Wasn't really too happy there, so he moved on and published the next few issues on his own. He did a color special, and then the Goon 1 through 4, published by Albatross Exploding Funny Books. That was the name he gave himself for self-publishing. And then after that, he ended up moving to Dark Horse, where most of the stuff ended up getting published. So we're going to read the Goon Volume 1, Nothing But Misery, which collects everything that he self-published by himself, the color special and issues 1 through 4. And I don't remember very much about these Goon comics at all, but I'm excited to revisit them. It's just kind of like silly, kind of gangstery, but also horror-y and weird. I don't know. I'm excited. I can't wait. I hope you guys all like it as much as I used to like it. I hope I still like it as much, and that it's not just like, oh my god, this is terrible. But hey, it won an Eisner, right? So it can't be worse than Krampusnacht.
Krampusnacht's not bad. It's just kind of like, man.
It's just,
it's like, really?
Yeah. Egg. All right. So I think that's about it. Anything else we gotta say? What is Chris? What is Your Stupid Minds up to?
Check it out on yourstupidminds.com. I'm too tired to plug it.
I have a plug.
Hold on. It's out of cold. I just want to thank Chris for being such a trooper, making his way through the episode tonight. You've done good.
Thank you. I'm just like a beast of burden.
You are just like a bee. You sacrificed, but you made it through. Vince, what did you want to plug?
I have a plug. I'm going to be it'll have already been out by the time this is out. I'll be on the Pixel Gods podcast. Talking about video games. Pixel spelled Pixl, no E in there. Space Gods. You can find it on Facebook or Twitter. Or through your local podcast app that you download things through. I'll be talking about video games with Marcellus Code, the Geek Father, who was on our Black Panther episode.
Yeah.
So,
what video game did you talk about?
I don't know. I think it's just their general format seems to just be kind of like a rundown of the news of the week.
Cool.
So we'll see what we talk about. I don't know what's about to happen in the week of video games, but I'm sure we'll talk about it.
Oh, I see. So you haven't recorded it yet, but at the time this comes out, that will have already come out?
Yeah,
whoa,
I know. He has a quick turnaround. We usually have like a week lead time. We're going to record Sunday, and it'll be out Sunday. So.
Whoa.
I know. Hey, Big Spender. I know.
Wow. All right. Well, I'm excited. I hope it all goes well. It'll be fun to listen to. So for Vince and Chris and me, Kia, thank you so much for listening. We love you. We hope all your Beast Boys come true. And
Beast Boy can turn straight up into an animal. Animal. Yes, any animal. That's in the movie, and he goes, boom, pow. Yep, I'm a kitty now.
All right. So we're all gonna go watch the Teen Titans Go movie, and we'll report back. I'll let you know how it was. Bye, everybody. Love you. See you next time.